What's crackin', movie trivia Schmoedown fans? It's your boy C-Dub, and today we got the play-in match for the IG tournament. We got Jim Vevjoda of the Rockstars taking on Ben Goddard of the Den. These are both debuting players in IG. Ben Goddard, he's had a good showing this year in singles and in teams. Vevjoda, a little bit of an unknown as far as IG goes, but I'm sure he's got to have some semblance of confidence to dip his toe into the IG ring. So it should be a really good match. I really don't know who I'm picking this match, but it should be a good one. So let's get it started.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the movie trivia Schmoedown virtual style here, and it is the Inner Geekdom tournament. The Star Wars tournament is still up and running on Twitch every Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen, but now it is the Inner Geekdom tournament. Mark Ellis, the Inner Geekdom division has been something over the course of the last 4 years. Of course, starting off in 2016 when we saw Robert Meyer Burnett as the first Inner Geekdom champion, and since then it has become like the classic Intercontinental division in the late 80s of wrestling. That reference means nothing to you, but how do you feel about this particular tournament?
Oh, Christian, I'm so glad you called on me. You know, I still remember when Robert Meyer Burnett won that first Inner Geekdom championship, and I remember the look on his face afterwards. He was chilling in our common room at Collider, and he was having a beer, and he just looked exhausted, and that should be noted for anybody who wants to get to that level. Is weary is the head that wears the crown. But Christian, today we have two all-star competitors looking to get that crown. They want to be that exhausted in Ben Goddard and Jim Vevjoda. Now, as you can hear the construction behind me, these people are ready to go today. Everybody's amped.
They are in because it means a lot for the factions, and that's what these tournaments have meant to all the factions. And we knew because of where we are and with the pandemic at hand, we were forced to do these matches virtual. But we started with exhibition matches. Those went over really well. Then we transitioned to doing Star Wars matches on Twitch. Those went over really well. We had put into plan this big 18-person tournament. And we now are going to have this is a play-in match. This is the second play-in match by the Rockstars and Roxy Stryer, and she chose Jim Vevjoda. This is a big match for the Rockstars. They had a play-in match in Star Wars. Josh Crevedo got knocked out in the first round. They need the points. They really need the points here. Jim Vevjoda is an excellent player. He knows movie knowledge very well. His knowledge of the game of Schmoedown has been questioned. We all know about the biopic mishap. What has he done since? Has Roxy Stryer helped him learn the game a little bit more? We don't know yet. And then you got Ben Goddard representing the Den with both Kate Mulligan and Grace Hancock, who have been in his ear, helping him throughout this journey, right? And he has been nothing but exceptional so far. He's won 2 teams matches. He's won a singles match. He held his own in the Lord of the Rings exhibition match. The kid is for real.
Yeah, the kid looks unfazed, Christian. The pressure does not get to him at all. He obviously has a lot of on-camera experience. But with Vevjoda, I think you're getting a different one than we've ever seen before, because he was always a guy where you never doubted his knowledge. You doubted how much he knew the Schmoedown in and out. I think that he has gotten over that mountain. I think that he has now reached that level where he knows how to play the game, and he's got managers in his corner that are experts at it. So this is going to be a very even match that we have kicking off the Inner Geekdom tournament.
And as we mentioned before, we have so much history already inside of this league, already with the factions. And here's how we got here right now.
I haven't played Inner Schmoedown for like a year and a half, so I've been a little rusty, but now my blood's up and I can't wait to get back in there and kick some ass.
You look at the Rockstars, they have 6 points. And your winner!
I let you down as a manager today because I need to make sure that you were stronger in round 2. So we'll be back and we'll be better than ever next time.
Hey guys, just use my fanny pack as a
the master of this quarantine. I'm outside of Roxy Strider's house here. Keeps a pretty messy house, huh? I would love to get to that question, but I was so distracted by thinking about how smart you are and how you've won every match you play.
Goddard coming out the gate here, 2 straight victories, 1 in teams, 1 in singles.
Ben, you didn't know you were in the tournament.
I was just as shocked as anyone. I was like,
So this is what, my 3rd league I'm competing in? Okay, let's get some wins in this one now, too.
Hello, Ben. That is your real name. I'm Jim.
Jim Vevjoda, heck of a guy, nice guy, heck of a competitor, putting Highbon in the backpack in his last match.
I know you think you're one of the big boys now. I got news for you. It's a lot harder than it looks, and you might want to go back to the kids' table because Jim Vevjoda is good at everything.
I'm the guy who's here. Kick your ass. Beat you like a war drum.
You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna pull a Chris Jericho. He's gonna disappoint! Oh, something going down. We need the points, and we have to win.
I'm ready to devour, win, survive. And right now, I need a victory.
I don't see the player in front of me. I just see the next victory. And unfortunately, Rockstars, you're gonna have to take another L.
You've had a crazy quarantine, but it looks like it's about to get a lot more mellow for you because it's going to be a pretty short tournament.
As you see, Mark, once again, a great promo by the great Eric, the Nerd Chronic himself, putting together to show you how much this means to the factions, to show you how much the Rockstars need some points. The Den have been exceptional this year. Rookie manager Kate Mulligan showing that she knows the game fairly well, and this could be a big move from them trying to catch the #1 spot.
yeah, who do you think's feeling the most pressure right now besides me, trying to get the dog to stop barking at the construction workers? I gotta put it on not a competitor. I actually think Kate Mulligan is a little nervous right now. I was talking to her pre-show, and she just seems a little on edge, like she wants to make sure she has all of her ducks in a proverbial row.
There's 2 sides to the nervousness. You got Kate Mulligan, obviously, because she's so invested in her players. She's so invested, as is Grace, and they're both ready, and they know what it means to win. They've been there. I believe that the pressure's on the Rockstars. Now, Roxy Strider couldn't be here today, and Hall of Famer, former team champion Mark Andraco will be in that spot as manager here today, but this is a big one from the Rockstars. If they get knocked out in the the play-in match and only have Alex Damon to rely on, they're really stretching on that last leg.
Yes, as if that kid needed more pressure on his shoulders. He's already got a really heavy belt, and so carrying an entire faction, that may be a little too much for any one person to handle. So it's time for not only the competitors, but also Mark Andraco to step into the winner's circle.
All right, Mark, so with that, you ready to get going?
It's time to punish a loser? I don't know, that was my name today.
No,
You get it?
not that. Well, no, but it's time for the movie trivia Schmoedown. You ready?
Okay, yeah.
Well, then I'll do it for real. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the movie trivia Schmoedown. Mark, before we get to our competitors, let's get to the managers here. We're gonna have 3 of them in here. We got Kate Mulligan, Grace Hancock, and of course, representing the Rockstars, Mark Andraco. Let's start with Grace Hancock here, the Lioness. Grace, you've got to be happy with your protege here, the Den mother, Kate, and what you guys have accomplished with the Den this season.
I mean, look, do I know how to pick them or do I know how to pick them? I don't mess around. We're totally unfazed today. Contrary to what our friend Mark Ellis has said, Kate is not nervous. She eats hot dogs when she's at peace, and we are not nervous for this match. The pressure is not on us today. We're going to lay back and win.
So,
My mother always told me never eat a hot dog in public.
well, there you
Your
go.
mom sounds lame.
Your mom's not from Chicago, I'll tell you that right now.
Well, let me ask you, Grace, one of the things too, you and Roxy have obviously had your past before. You still have not confirmed nor denied that you were the one that made her go in the wrong direction for one of her really important matches. You've had a few exchanges with her before. Is it somewhat satisfying to you to know that today, if you guys take out the Rockstars, that Roxy's going to be in some bad shape?
Yes.
Fair enough. All right, let's go to Mark Andraco. Mark, this is an interesting position for you because you know the game very well. You and I speak about the game often. You know it. Now, inner geekdom isn't necessarily your forte, but that doesn't mean that the game and having someone like you is going to be very beneficial for Jim Vevjoda.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing that I learned when I finally reached it was the learning curve of being able to strategize and play the game. That's just as important as knowing the answers. So, and I've been watching during this quarantine. I've watched, I think, every Schmoedown ever, and now I'm in the inner geekdom ones because I've run out of ones. So I'm by osmosis going to know some Star Wars questions, I think.
Mark?
Look, when you look at Kate Mulligan, Christian, I don't want to say the term stress eating. I don't want to come down on anyone like that, but Kate, it does appear that you've stolen one of your kids' sack lunches and you're claiming it as your own. Is that indeed the case? And why? Is it stress related?
Sorry, real quick. There's a hot packet in the fridge! Just grab a Coke! Sorry, it's my 2-year-old. No, first of all, that was mine. You guys planned the match right during lunchtime. So, that's first of all. Secondly, Mark, I'm not nervous about Ben Goddard ever. Ever. Any match he wants to play, he wins. So, guess what? Guess what you're about to see. Ben Goddard's about to win it.
Okay, one last question for you before we get competitors here too. You came into this league, no one really knew what you were going to do, how you were going to manage, and the Den has been really, really proving themselves. The Pride having a good run, Ben Goddard having a good run, Brett Sheridan winning a match. That alone should take you to the Manager of the Year. So how do you feel about your first, I know you're a little hard on yourself sometimes, but do you feel that this tournament is yours to lose?
Yes, and I'll tell you what. I think I got and Draco, please. I think I'm gonna go down as the refrigerator Perry of this season. You know what I'm saying? The William Refrigerator Perry. I think I'm gonna be the rookie that gets a really good hook on a rap song when this is all done. But I do have to say, I think, you know, there's been a lot of controversy going into this thing. Please, do I look nervous? Nah. Okay. I have faith in my guys. It starts today. Ben Goddard. There's a reason God's in his name. Okay.
Can we give Kate a new nickname? I think it should be Purse Sausage.
I actually like that one. I like that one, Mark. That was good. That was good.
Even though it was a long interview, we still clocked in 3 minutes under Brandon Hanna's promo. So let's let us now say goodbye to the managers. Thank you guys. Congratulations on getting here right now. And someone who keeps bringing Grace back. I understand. So let us start. Mark, now, are you ready?
I am ready to go. I am going to hold Kate Mulligan to that Super Bowl 20 shuffle on stage if we do the awards next year. If she wins Manager of the Year, she's got to bring her faction up there to do that. But Christian, in the meantime, the Punisher is ready to go.
Introducing first, representing the Rockstars, making his Inner Geekdom debut. Here's Jim, the Whiskey Man Vevjoda.
I love my intro. Thank you so much for that. I feel like I've earned that. That's years of liver damage just being pumped out from Schmoedown.
Well, you know, you have earned it. You've been in this league for a little bit now. And, you know, I've known you for a bit. I know how much you know as far as movies go. You've gotten some criticism in the past in regards to your knowledge of the game itself. Have you improved on that recently with the being added to Roxy's The Rockstars?
We'll find out. Yes, I believe I have. You know what I haven't improved at? Instacart. Even though I changed my delivery time, they were messaging me right before this, so,
Yeah, Christian,
I will just go bad, but I'll win.
I got word that Jim Vevjoda and I are kind of kindred spirits because we're both doing our laundry as we speak. One of the many benefits of doing a Schmoedown from my mansion. So, Jim, when you look at the landscape of Inner Geekdom, I mean, let's be realistic about this. This is the play-in game, so I count you as being in the tournament. How far do you reasonably think you can make it? Can you get to the Final Four?
I can Forrest Gump my way to that, sure. Yeah, I can do that. I believe in myself. Look, I'm a man wearing a pretty cool John Wick t-shirt.
It is pretty good. I like that shirt.
I mean, that's got to count for something. No, in all seriousness,
I know my stuff. I mean, I know my weak areas and I know my strong areas, and I'm pretty confident. And also, I did do some homework this week and brushed up in those areas that I was a little weak in. So hopefully, studying pays off, kids.
Well, we're going to find out because it's time to introduce your opponent. And his opponent, representing the Den, making his Inner Geekdom debut, Ben the Bandit Goddard! Ben Goddard from the Den. Ben, you have been having some season, my friend, here too. It seems like you had a chip on your shoulder. It seems like you want to prove to the old-timers that tell you, yeah, maybe relax, kid. You haven't been in this long enough to have that attitude. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I've wanted to play Inner Geekdom for a long time. We've talked about it, and I'm glad I get to make my debut against, some of the best players in the league. I'm ready for this. Jim was confused between the difference of DC and DCEU, so I'm not that worried. And I'm taking this one match at a time. I know who's waiting for me next round, but it doesn't matter. I'm focused on Jim right now. I'm getting these 3 points for TKO because Swag got gifted a TKO after the fact. So we got to take back second place, and we're coming after Finstock Exchange. Regardless, after this tournament, it's going to be a clear first place. Y'all can have the silver medals. We're going to get the gold.
All right, there is the Bandit. We're going to bring Jim back in there too. The Whiskey Man, the Bandit. Ready to, Jim, do you have any words you wanted to say to Ben?
Yeah, I didn't know pre-show was on the table. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, we'll keep you out.
That's a JT rule right there.
All right, Mark. Competitors have gotten here. They're ready to go. Can you give the rules here? Round number 1.
Everybody's favorite part of the show. The rules of round number 1 are as follows. It's the Inner Geekdom, and so you're going to have 10 questions from 10 different corners of Inner Geekdom goodness. Each question is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round number 1. As soon as we ask the question, each competitor hopefully has a pen or some sort of writing utensil handy and a writing tablet of some sort, a yellow pad, a piece of paper, a steno book, whatever you feel comfortable with. Once we ask you by name to reveal what you wrote, please show that to the camera at the same time you verbalize your answer into the microphone. I'll remind each competitor that throughout the duration of the 3-round match, you each have 3 usages of the JTE rule. If you think you need more time to answer a question, you just want us to repeat it, use the JTE rule. You also each have 1 challenge to be used by your manager at any point throughout the 3-round match. Christian, back to you.
Oh, start with Jim. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Ben, are you ready?
Ready.
Then let's get ready to Schmoedown! All right, round number 1, question number 1 in the Inner Geekdom play-in match. First question. In a category of the MCU, in 2012's The Avengers, what character's death is the catalyst needed to convince the team to work together?
We didn't need any of that, Christian. You and I just hit it off right away, right? I mean, you
Agent
saw me
Bill
come to your
Colson.
barbecue in 2003, and you're like, this is the guy.
That's not true, but that's new canon. 5,
I think that's
4,
pretty accurate.
3, 2, 1, pens down, and Jim.
Agent Bill Coulson.
It is, and thank you for the handwriting. I like the handwriting. Ben Goddard.
Agent Coulson.
Yes, okay, 1-1. There it is.
Right, 1 classic penmanship, 1 6th grader. They both got 1 point.
You know it. That's what you get for trying to teach me cursive.
What my handwriting will ever be. Otherwise, it just,
Your next question, gentlemen. In the world of Star Wars, and the question is, who played the character Count Dooku in the films Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith? Christian, has this name ever made you giggle?
Yes. The first time I saw it, did they say Dooku?
Christopher
Maybe
Lee.
Allison Duty.
Ah, that's a good one. 5, 4, Duty. 3, 2, 1. Pens down, and Ben Goddard.
Christopher Lee.
Yes, it is. And Jim?
Christopher Lee.
2-2. 2-2. Next question, gents. Here we go. Category of Middle Earth. Which actor plays Boromir in Lord of the Rings?
Great pronunciation there, Christian. Let me ask you a question.
Yes,
Between Christopher Lee's characters in Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, who wins in a one-on-one fight?
The one in Lord of the Rings.
Really?
5, 4,
For a Force
three.
user?
Sorry, buddy.
Sean
2,
Bean.
1. Pens down, and we start with Jim.
Sean Bean.
Yes, it is. And Ben.
Sean Bean.
Yep. Okay, 3-3. Mark.
Your next question, gentlemen, is in the world of DC. So DC films not necessarily associated with the DCEU. Remember that? Your question. Joaquin Phoenix and Robert De Niro star in what 2019 DC film?
This is a play-in game.
Joker.
Hey, we're just making sure everybody's getting a good sweat going. They're well lubricated, making their layups, their free throws.
4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down, please. And we go to Ben Goddard.
Joker.
Yep. And Jim.
Joker.
Okay. So we now see it 4-4 as we get to the next question. Number 5 is Marvel films. Marvel films. Who directed 2005's Fantastic Four?
Deep cut there. Christian, I'm so happy.
Story.
Hopefully we'll never have to make a ruling if somebody writes down the Joker, if they're referencing that movie.
That's what I think the writers were going for with that one, and I can see PJ laughing because he knows that's what he's going for. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. He causes me a lot of no sleep.
Yeah.
All right, we start with Jim Vevjoda.
Tim Story?
Yes, it is. And Ben.
Tim Story.
5-5. 5 questions to go, and both competitors perfect, as Booker T would say.
That's right, gentlemen. If you get 5 more questions correct in a row, and you don't miss one, then you'll be asked a bonus question that's also worth 1 point. But we're not there yet. Where we are is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Go there in Universal Studios. You can meet Harry, Hermione, and John Roca. Your question.
No, he left.
In Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, what does Hagrid name his dragon?
Mark, I would bet the bank that there's no chance you would get this right.
I was going to go with Molly.
Yeah, that's incorrect.
With an I-E, not a Y.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Shit, I cannot remember that. Damn.
Pens down, and we start with Ben Goddard.
Norbert.
Yes, sir. Jim.
I don't know. Dracus.
Oh, so the Den strikes first. Den strikes first here. 6-5. 6-5. Ben takes his first lead over Jim. Star Trek is the next. Who plays Jalaya in Star Trek Beyond? Or Jayla, excuse me. Who plays Jayla in Star Trek Beyond?
I'm really torn here. I mean, if I was going to have a dragon, maybe I'd name it Ivan because maybe it would have offspring. Then I could just keep going with the Drago kind of thing. I'd probably name them all Rocky characters. So I'd have like a George Washington Duke dragon, a Tommy Gunn dragon.
3,
Sophia
2,
Boutella.
1. Pens down, and Jim.
I can't believe I'm blanking on her name, but it's the actress from The Mummy.
Can't accept that. And Ben.
Sophia Boutella.
And now Ben goes up by 2. Ben goes up by 2 here after being able to hit Sophia Boutella's name as we get to number 8.
That's right, Sophia Boutella, friend of the show. Your next category is, in fact, that DCEU I was talking about earlier. And your question, what DCEU film has the tagline, Accomplish Wonder?
I gotta tell you, as much I give, as the writers give me adjectives, I love
Man of
this question.
Steel.
I love this question.
Oh, good. So you love 1 out of the 90 they wrote for this match.
Correct. 5, 4.
Can I get a repeat? This is from DCEU, right?
Yeah, first repeat. Where you go?
Yeah, to repeat the question?
Yeah,
What?
I got it. Oh, it's you. Sorry. Go ahead.
What DCEU film has the tagline, Accomplish Wonder? I got it. Go ahead.
I forgot.
That's like 2 outfielders running into each other.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, pens down, and Goddard.
Wonder Woman.
No, it is not. And Jim.
I also had Wonder Woman.
Yep. Chance to pick up some points there for Vevjoda. We're looking for Man of Steel.
It's a great question. Great question.
I knew that, I couldn't think of anything.
Heroes and Villains is number 9. Heroes and Villains, but the perfect game for Goddard is gone at the moment. So, Heroes and Villains. How many actors have portrayed Lex Luthor in live action on the silver screen since 1978?
They followed up that question with another great one.
Yeah.
And this is theatrically released films, folks.
3.
I think you and I saw one of these together.
Maybe. 5, 4,
3.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We start with Jim.
3.
3 is correct. Ben?
3.
3, okay. So now we see ourselves 8-6. Ben getting that, and Jim gets it as well. 8-6. Jim only down by 2 right now as we get to question number 9. Sorry.
Number 10. Number 10, this is the last question in round number 1. And it comes from the world of mixed bag. Reach your hand in there. Maybe it's from Marvel, DC. It could be a snake. Your question, what 2012 comic book film featured the tagline, Judgment is Coming? Christian, the 3 actors playing Lex Luthor,
Judge
Gene Hackman,
Dredd?
Jesse Eisenberg, and some other guy.
Fair enough.
Well, actually, hold on.
And 5, 4,
Actually, I think it's just called
2,
Dread.
1. Pen down. Ben got it.
Dread?
Yes. And Jim.
I had Punisher Warzone.
So the Den, seeing Ben Goddard hit another one, he is up 9-6, only missing 1 question. Big round 1 for the Bandit and the Denmark as we find ourselves into round number 2. How those rules work?
Denmark up in the U.S. Anyway, round number 2 is known as the wheel round. And yes, folks, we have an electronic wheel handy, and boy, does it work wonders. So each competitor gets a spin at that wheel, which today is a sponsored wheel, thanks to one of our patrons, Andy Schick. How about a hand for Andy, everybody? Andy Schick coming in. And who said it? So thank you, Andy, for your patronage. If you want to have your name read during an upcoming match, check out the Schmoedown Patreon and select which tier is right for you. Now back to that wheel that Andy Schick so kindly sponsored. There's 12 slices on that wheel. You have opponents and spinner's choice. You also have 10 categories of inner geekdom know-how. Once each competitor settles on a particular category, you're going to get 5 questions in that world. Each question is worth 2 points. There is no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round number 2. I'm kidding. Of course they're stealing in round number 2. There's always stealing in round number 2. So, if a competitor misses a question, the other competitor can steal it and try to get that answer. So, if you're not sure of the question or the answer, ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct answer. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1. So we have Ben Goddard and Jim Vevjoda. Christian, Ben has used one of his JTE rules. Vevjoda has not as of right now as we enter into round number 2. Ben, you have the lead. So would you like to spin Andy Schick's electronic wheel first, or would you like to defer?
Can I talk to my manager before I decide?
So I'm going to move Jim out. I'm going to bring in, so I believe Kate is the one who's going to be managing. You can't have 2 managers here, so let me move Jim out. Excuse me.
Keep those hands up, Mulligan.
All right, so Ben and his manager, Kate, have conferred. Ben, have you made a decision? What do you want to do?
I will go first.
All right, you're going to go first here. So Ben Goddard will go first. Let's get the wheel up there, please.
Where's that wheel? Where's the wheel that Andy gave us? Hey, there we go. Look at that thing.
So here we go. We're going to keep Kate up here until the decision is made. Here's the spin.
All right, Ben Goddard clearly using his mind to spin the wheel. Ooh!
All right, so we're going to have to bring Jim and Draco over here. So Jim and Draco is not being, he froze. Perfect, right? Perfect time. There he is. Are you there, Mark?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanna confer with my manager. Hello?
Yeah, I'm gonna bring Kate out for a second,
Okay.
and I'll bring Kate back in. All right, so bringing in Mark Andreyko here, who can confer with Jim Vevjoda about what they want to do for opponent's choice. All right, Ben, they've given you scores and soundtracks for
boy.
your category here. You get five questions, and scores and soundtracks. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, here you go. Question number 1. And again, you know what? I'm going to Jim, make sure you have your hands up here too while you watch, because you can steal. So we're going to keep you in here too. Please keep your hands so we can see them. All right, here we go. Here we go, Ben. First question. Who composed the score for both parts of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows?
Howard Shore.
It's incorrect for the steal.
Alexander Desplat.
Alexander Desplat?
What's your final answer?
Alexander Desplat? I can spell it.
Desplat.
Spell it, please.
Desplat?
That is correct. All right, so we have a 2-point steal here for Jim. All right.
9-8, Christian. Still in favor of Ben.
Still in favor of Ben, but question number 2. What song plays while Night Owl and Silk Spectre make love in 2009's Watchmen?
Hallelujah.
Yes, it is. 2 points for Ben Goddard.
Not a song you should make love to.
No, probably not. All right. So the next question here, question 3. Who composed the score of X-Men
Henry Jackman.
First Class?
Henry Jackman.
Multiple choice.
A. Henry Jackman. B. John Ottman. C. Michael Kamen.
Henry
D.
Jackman.
John Powell.
Jackman.
A is correct.
Sorry, A. Henry Jackman.
That's okay.
Sorry.
1 point. That's okay. 1 point for Ben Goddard. Here's question 4. In Kingsman: The Golden Circle, what song does Elton John play when Eggsy and Harry attack Poppyland?
Oh, gosh. The bitch is back?
It's incorrect. For the steal, Jim?
Friday night's alright for fighting?
Looking for Saturday Nights already.
Oh, killer! It was there for the taking. Ooh.
Almost had the steal there. But, so Ben, your final question here. Final question. Dennis McCarthy composed the score for which Star Trek film starring the cast from The Next Generation?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Star Trek Insurrection,
Generation.
B, Star Trek Nemesis,
Generation.
C, Star Trek Generations, D, Star Trek First Contact?
Generation.
Generations?
For 1 point. All right, so we now have multiple choice. Oh, it's multiple choice. I saw the text that Kate put in.
That's 13-8, Christian. So Ben Goddard, not a bad round considering the fact that he spun opponent's choice and got saddled with scores and soundtracks. But Jim Vevjoda, a big steal in there, could have had 2 more points if he just got the right day of the week. He was off by 1. It was still technically a weekend night, but Saturday night is all right for fighting.
Yeah, it is absolutely right. But the thing is, that opponent's choice worked in his favor because he has now cut the lead down to 5 as he goes for his spin in round number 2. All right, we're going to bring Mark Andreyko back here, and we're going to drop Goddard out, and now we're going to bring the wheel back as Jim Vevjoda gets his opportunity to spin. Here we go.
Okay, Vevjoda using his mind. He had a few whiskeys last night.
Oh, the Wizarding World. The Wizarding World. Do you want to keep it or spin away from it?
I want to spin away from it.
Spin away from Harry Potter. Probably a good decision with Ben Goddard. There's the spin.
Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep.
Uh-oh. That's on choice. All right, so it lands on opponent's choice. So now we're going to bring back in the Den Mother herself and Ben Goddard. All right, so what do you guys say?
Both players get opponent's choice. Brutal.
Wizarding.
All right, we're going to go to Wizarding World here. So we're going to bring back Jim. We're going to let Mark. Mark is going to be out too. All right, got Kate. All right, so we're bringing back Jim Vevjoda. All right, here we go. And we start with Harry Potter for Jim Vevjoda.
All right, Jim Vevjoda, you have selected Harry Potter. Well, actually, you had nothing to do with it. You spun opponent's choice, and Christian, both competitors listening to their managers on the opponent's choice. So the first question for Jim, in the Wizarding world of Harry Potter, who plays the ghost Nearly Headless Nick in Harry Potter
John
and the
Cleese.
Sorcerer's Stone?
John Cleese.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Hugh Laurie, B, Eric Idle, C, Stephen Fry, or D, John Cleese?
John Cleese.
John Cleese.
An all-time legend and Magnavox spokesperson, you are correct for a point.
1 point for Jim. He makes it 13-9.
All right, next question of 5 in this round. In Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1, who kills Dobby, the house elf?
Bellatrix
Multiple
Lestrange.
choice.
Is it A, Bellatrix Lestrange, B, Draco Malfoy, C, Fenrir Greyback, or D, Lucius Malfoy?
A. Bellatrix.
Can I get that again?
I can repeat them once without use of a JTE rule. Your options once again, is it A, Bellatrix Lestrange, B, Draco Malfoy, C, Fenrir Greyback, or D, Lucius Malfoy?
A.
Bellatrix Lestrange.
He's maneuvering his way around this round admirably, Christian. That's another correct answer for Jim.
1 point. Sees himself 13-10 now, cutting it down to 3.
All right, Mr. Vevjoda, your next question. In Harry Potter, Voldemort is able to obtain a relic from each founding member of Hogwarts except for whom?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Rowena Ravenclaw, B, Helga Hufflepuff,
Rowena
C,
Ravenclaw.
Godric Gryffindor, or D, Salazar Slytherin?
Rowena Ravenclaw. Oh wait, no.
Can you repeat that?
I think that question.
Read the question or repeat the
No,
answer?
just the multiple choice.
That'll count you 1 JT.
B.
Ravenclaw.
That is incorrect. So, Ben, I can repeat the options for you for the steal. Is it A, Rowena Ravenclaw, B, Helga Hufflepuff, C, Godric Gryffindor, or D, Salazar Slytherin?
B.
Gryffindor.
Correct, Ben Bateman. Ben Goddard has a steal, Christian.
All right, so now we see our fourth question. Our fourth question here, Mark.
That's right, 14 to 10 is now the count. Okay, Jim, your next question. This is your penultimate question in this round. In the Order of the Phoenix, which character drops the orb with the prophecy about Harry in it, shattering it during the climax at the Ministry of Magic?
Harry.
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Harry,
Harry.
B, Sirius Black, C, Bellatrix Lestrange, or D, Lucius Malfoy?
Harry. Harry.
5,
Right?
4.
Harry. That is incorrect, Ben. I'm going to give you your options for a steal. Is it A, Harry, B,
It's
Sirius
Lucius
Black, C,
Malfoy.
Bellatrix Lestrange, or D, Lucius Malfoy?
D. Lucius Malfoy.
Another 1 point steal for Ben Goddard. Christian, it is 15 to 10 going into our
5
final.
points back. Yep. He got his 5 points back. So Jim needs to hit either 1 or 2 points here to keep it within range. A 2-point steal could be pretty devastating.
Here it is, and I don't think these guys are going to be wanting to talk about either Harry Potter or scores and soundtracks anytime soon after this. Your last question, Jim, in the Wizarding world. In the finale of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, who does Harry refer to as the bravest man I've ever known?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Albus Dumbledore,
Severus Snape.
B, Severus Snape,
Snape.
C, Sirius Black, or D, Remus Lupin?
Snape. Snape.
5, 4.
That is incorrect, Ben. Your multiple choice options. Is it A, Albus Dumbledore, B, Severus Snape, C, Sirius Black, or D, Remus Lupin?
Severus Snape.
Another 1-point steal. Christian Ben Goddard is going to enjoy a 6-point lead going into round number 3.
It was a big move here. The opponent's choice, and they chose it. They thought about it. They picked the right one here with Wizarding World. Ben clearly knew it, and Jim struggled. He had a good start there, Mark, with the first couple, but then they just kind of tied him up. Smart move, though, going to multiple choice. Could have been a lot more damaging if he made some big misses with the twos.
Yeah, I mean, Christian, he played that round as well as he possibly could have, and I'd say the same for Ben. The opponent's choice twice in a play-in match. I mean, things are already getting Final Four temperature here in this Intergeekdom tournament as we move in to round number 3. This is the round that will determine the match. I'll give you gentlemen the rules here right now. Each competitor is going to give us a series of numbers. We need 3 numbers from each of you. These numbers can range from 1 to 15. Each number corresponds to a different corner of movie, trivia, Schmoedown, Intergeekdom know-how. Your first question is worth 2 points. Your next one is worth 3 points. Your last one, should we make it that far, is worth 5 big points. Keep in mind, competitors, there's no penalty for missing a question, and there is no stealing in round number 3. Ben, you and Jim each have 2 usages of the JTE rule left. So I'm going to ask you first, Ben, because you're up 16 to 10. Between 1 to 15, what 3 numbers feel the luckiest to you?
Let's go 4, 7, 11.
All right.
11 for Goddard and for Jim.
Let's see. I'll do. Let's do 3. Let's do 6, 8, 9.
And Christian, it does appear that the Wizards in my ear tell me Vevjoda did not actually use a JTE rule, so he still has all 3 at his disposal, while Ben does retain his 2.
All right, so here we go. We start with Jim Vevjoda, who is trying to avoid the TKO here. He chose category number 6. Category number 6 for Jim. Jim, you chose Middle Earth. Name one person who is credited as a screenwriter on the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Peter Jackson.
Multiple choice.
You can't have multiple choice on this round.
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Correct for 2 points. There it is. Correct for 2 points. All right, so
Sorry. I mean, I'm not stealing, so.
we see ourselves 16, 12. 16, 12. All right, Jim, you got to hit this one here. This is, you still have an upper color. So Jim has his 3-pointer here. 3-pointer, and that was 8. That was number 8. That's Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones. In Temple of Doom, the Thuggy cult from the temple stole the Shankara stones from a local village and took what else from them?
Their children.
It's correct for 3 points. Correct for 3 points. So Jim Vevjoda now. Jim Vevjoda sees himself 16-15. Now if he hits his 5-pointer, it bounces back to Ben Goddard. However, if he misses it, the Den will win by TKO and get themselves 3 points. 3 big points here because the play-in matches are worth 2 points, but a KO is worth 1. All right, Jim, you chose category number 9 for your 5-pointer. To send it back to Ben Goddard, Marvel. Marvel is your question. Here you go. In the film Daredevil, Bullseye kills a man in a bar by throwing what object into the man's throat?
A paper clip. Paper clip.
And your winner, by way of technical knockout, Ben Goddard. Ben the Bandit Goddard. We're going to bring back Mark and Jim in just a second here. Big TKO victory here, ladies, for Ben Goddard. He finds himself still in professional play, not exhibitions, professional play, undefeated. Finds himself. So you guys are watching this, starting here with Kate. You're watching from the sideline here, and Ben Goddard holds it together. A lot of rookies. was. Oh yeah. By the way, sorry.
It was a paperclip. It's 5-pointer.
Oh, the answer, by the way, was paperclip. Paperclip was the answer. All right, so Kate, you're watching from the sidelines. You see it now. A lot of rookies would have gotten opponent's choice, and they might have shut down. He didn't do that. He held his composure. Jim hits opponent's choice. You guys debated on what to give him. Wizarding World was the right. Let me ask you that first. Wizarding World. How stressful was that to pick that particular thing to see how Jim was going to be there?
I wasn't stressed about that at all. I mean, I gotta tell you, when he spun away from it, I said we didn't get Norbert. Everybody knows Norbert, the Dragon. Listen, let me tell you something about Ben Goddard. Not only has he played in 3 different divisions, but now, as of today, he has a win in 3 different divisions, and he has 2 wins in 1 of the divisions. So come at us all and tell me that Ben Goddard doesn't belong in this tournament, people!
Look, Christian, you look at Ben Goddard's performance here today, and I think that the only flaw you might be able to find is that he might have not studied scores and soundtracks as much as he wanted to. Ben, is that the case? Do you study scores and soundtracks, or is it something that you kind of put on the back burner?
Absolutely, Mark. I should have gone to multiple choice on both the questions I got wrong. I could hear that Elton John song, but also I could hear Rocket Man in the back of my head, so those two got me mixed up. But I'm definitely going to study more. I'm glad to get 3 points. We're up there. I belong here. I belong in this tournament for real. And now I have nothing to lose. I have 0 to lose. I have 0 pressure on me the next game. Robert Parker's the golden boy. If I win, it's the biggest upset of the year. If I lose, I'm supposed to lose. So I have no pressure.
Well, let me ask you about that, though. So, Parker, I mean, look, this is one of those things, you say you have nothing to lose. The one thing I would say is that you're one of the few rookies, if I can't remember the other rookie to do this, to come in rookie season and go singles, teams, intergeekdom, undefeated, right? So, the one thing that you could lose is you could lose a match and have that loss on your record. Now, it is against Robert Parker. Will the studying intensify, knowing that this is the guy that everyone says is the next great thing?
Robert Parker knows what he knows. I can't do anything about that. I just got to work on what I know. I knew every single overtime question in the Lord of the Rings match. He got 1 more question right than me, and that was the difference. He's a heck of a player, but again, he is the inner geekdom golden child. I'm not. I've already, does he have wins in three leagues? No. He has 1 win in 1 league. So, there it is.
All right, well, Grace, once again, you guys are sitting pretty here. Not a lot of times that people can call, it's just a few that people can call victory over the Den. You guys are doing really, really well here. How are you feeling about Ben Goddard?
I'm feeling great. We're very proud, but like I said at the beginning of this game, we are not surprised. Nobody here was stressed. Nobody here was nervous. Look, scores and soundtracks is the Karen of this league. Is that a blank spot? For sure. But he never lost his lead in this entire game. He's undefeated. We're talking through, this kid is unstoppable, hence why he's in the Den.
That's right. So, look, guys, congratulations. That is a big 3 points here. Big 3 points as we see the Den take a TKO victory in the first play-in game of this Intergeekdom tournament. Congratulations, Grace and Kate, and of course, Ben the Bandit Goddard. All right, guys, I'm going to remove you all from the stream here. All right, everybody, so there was Kate Mulligan, Grace Hancock, and the winner of today's match via TKO, Ben the Bandit Goddard. Now, let's bring in the rock stars here. We got Jim, Vevjoda, and Mark and Draco. This is a hard one here, and Draco, for the rock stars. You guys are having some. It seems to be kind of what's going on with the rock stars, because it was a great first round. Opponent's choice happens. Jim gets a couple good steals, but then he just missed. He missed that Elton John one. That could have been a big one. How you feeling, man? How you feeling about this match, Android?
Well, I think we've all made mistakes with one word. I think every single one of us has. That just happens in the heat of the match. I think we did as well as we could have. With opponent's choice, Ben did better in scores and soundtracks than I thought he would have. And Harry Potter was obviously not in the top 10 list of things we wanted to pick, but he did what I would have done. He went multiple choice, and he thought about them. And, you can't win them all. There's it's disappointing, but there's no shame in it. Sometimes it's just not your turn.
I do agree with that, Jim, what Mark says about you could tell that your gameplay has improved, because I think last year in round number 2, you probably would have just tried to answer and maybe forgotten about multiple choice. You didn't know Harry Potter that well, but you navigated it very well and fought through it, and only had a 5-point or 6-point deficit going into round number 3. But how did you feel about your gameplay and your Inner Geekdom debut?
I think by virtue of the fact that I lost by 1 point in a category that is not my strong suit, I'm not feeling too bad. I did actually study this week Harry Potter stuff, and I knew the minute I said Dumbledore that it was Snape. It was just one of those things where the pressure's like 5, 4, 3, and you get down to the 2-second thing. I'm like, Dumbledore, but I was like, knowing the movie and knowing the arc, I should have said Snape. In terms of the Elton John song, look, I'm from Boston. Every night is all right for fighting.
Fair enough. Well, fair enough.
One of my favorite tunes. It's one of my favorite guitar riffs. It might be my favorite Elton John song, so my heart broke for you a little bit.
Yeah,
but Jim,
I'll never hear the end of it.
the question for you is, where do you go from here? Do you think that you're able to pick up the pieces and be a competitor in Inner Geekdom? Do you think that this was a one-off? Where's your mindset right now?
I do think I have a very good chance at still competing and all that, and I think, look, I performed really well in a lot of the categories, and I did surprise him enough that he was second guessing whether or not he should go Wizarding World. It's a good thing he conferred with his manager, and if this doesn't work out, I probably have a pretty good chance at being a better Instacart guy than the guy I was dealing with today.
Well,
that option. But no, in all seriousness, I think I've a really good chance. I think it's just, it really was a luck of the draw thing that I ended up on opponent's choice, because I got the Indiana Jones stuff fine. I did everything well. The Daredevil thing is a pisser, but if you really remember that movie that well, I feel bad for you.
Fair enough. I will say this. I do have to ask Mark and Draco before I let you guys go. But Jim, I do think you played a hell of a match for your first Inner Geekdom and first singles match, to be completely honest with you.
1 point loss, people. 1 point.
Oh, this was your very first. Then I'm even more impressed.
Yeah, he's played in teams, but he's never. This is his first outside. This is his first.
I've seen the team matches. I just assumed, but no. Then this is a great first match in a very competitive division where there are no weak links in the Inner Geekdom competition.
Well, let me ask you though, Mark, because I know Roxy very well, and you were one of her longest. It started really with you and Snyder here at this Rock Stars. She takes these things really hard. She takes the losses hard, and she really cares about all of you guys. I know, she even says it on her podcast how much she treats you like her children. And
absolutely.
So how do you think she's gonna be able to handle this one?
I think, I texted her afterward. I think that hearing it, she'll be bummed, but I think when she watches it, she'll be very pleased. As pleased as you can be with a loss. Let's contextualize it that way. But like I said, now knowing, I'm kind of glad I didn't know this was Jim's first match going in, because I would have been more nervous. I thought he handled himself well, and we've all been in matches where the questions just weren't there for us, and you could, if the answer, you could sit there all day and not know it, you can't be mad at yourself for losing for a question like that.
I will say the answer, even more than the Elton John one, that bugged me, that I should have gotten. I just simply brain farted, couldn't remember her name, was Sophia Boutella, because I interviewed her for that movie. I know who she is. I love Star Trek, and mine went blank.
It happens to the best of us. Yeah, Jim, listen, I wanted to thank you again for being here today. Thank you for competing. Mark and Draco, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Good to see you guys.
Thank you, guys. All right, let me take both these guys out of here, too. Mark, we did it. The play-in match, one of the play-in matches is done. We have our second one. It's right around the corner, and it's going to be the Warfather. We've seen him before. You talk about a guy that has just made an impact with his big personality, and he's going to be there with Burnett. He takes on Greg Alba from the Quirky Mercs. I don't know. This is going to be a comedy show, to say the least.
Yeah, a good clash of managers and contestants in this one, Christian. And my question is, what is Warfather going to be able to bring to the table from a knowledge standpoint with Greg Alba? What's he going to be able to bring to the table from a competitive standpoint? He's going to take this seriously. So he's great at cracking jokes. When it's crunch time, can he suck it up and get that correct answer? Christian, the groceries have been delivered, and now it feels like the Inner Geekdom tournament is heating up.
Yes, it is, Mark. Thank you so much for joining us, as always, for the great Mark Ellis, Baby Carrots. I'm Christian Harloff. Tune on in. Got a lot of tournaments. Make sure if you're not tuning in to the Star Wars tournament, then you do it. Go to twitch.tv/the Schmoedown. A lot of great content over there on our Twitch channel. Join today and make sure that you watch the Inner Geekdom tournament every Thursday and Friday on this channel here on YouTube. Thank you to the great crew that we have. Thank you to the great Eric, the Nerd Chronic himself, for the wonderful editing and great promos here today. So thank you guys. We will see you next time. Peace out.
Well, it was a really good match. Competitive. Vevjoda, tough break for him. Getting Harry Potter in that second round, and Ben, he took advantage of it. Got the TKO. Good win for Ben, and he's 4-0 this year. So he certainly shouldn't be overlooked. He's putting together quite the campaign as a rookie, I gotta say. Now his next match, yeah, Robert Parker, he is that good. He is a fucking killer. I know, I've seen it many times. He's probably might be the greatest IG player I've ever seen. The dude just does not lose. He is as good as advertised. So Ben, he's got his work cut out for him. But we've seen crazier things happen. But good match. Congrats to the Den, to Kate, Grace. Good win. If you like my reactions, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Christopher Woodburn. You can find me on Twitter, Chris Woodburn83, Facebook, Christopher Michael Woodburn. So until next time, Mr. Boy C-Dub, peace.